Okay, so the first component is the Video Graphics Array or VGA. So it was created way back in 1980. So the VGA connection cable was the standard cable used to connect a computer to a monitor. So more recently, it has faded out of popularity due to the gradual shift towards digital connections over analog. So kumbaga medyo nalipasan na yung itong type of component. Kumbaga sa ngayong panahon, hindi na siya ganun ka trending or hindi na siya ganun siya ginagamit kasi 'di ba may mga HDMI na tayo. Okay, so still if you look on any video card or display apparatus, there is a good chance you'll see a VGA port. So may mga laptop, lalo na yung medyo mga makakapal na laptop or di kaya yung mga TV natin, may makikita pa rin tayo na VGA port. So, pero pag yung mga maninipis na, yung mga uso na ngayon, yung sobrang thin na laptop, kadalasan wala na silang VGA port. So, VGA connection can be identified by 15 pins arranged in 3 rows with 5 on each row. So, kung makikita nyo po, may mga pin yung ating VGA. So, each row corresponds to the 3 different colors, channels used in display. So, the red, green, and blue. Okay, next is the Digital Visual Interface or the DVI. So what is DVI? It is a connection became the successor to VGA as technology moved away from analog towards digital. So digital displays like LCD proved to be of higher quality, which soon became the market standard for home pictures. Now we move on to the High Definition Multimedia Interface or the HDMI. In the past decade, high definition broadcast became the new standard of what it means to be high quality. Unlike VGA and DVI, HDMI sends both video and audio signals together. The signals are digital only, thus HDMI is only compatible with newer devices. So ito na yung bago na ginagamit natin ngayon. So ito na yung pumalit sa VGA and DVI. Okay, next is the Universal Serial Bus or the USB. So from left to right, we have the micro USB, the mini USB, the Type B standard USB, and Type A standard USB, both female and male. The USB connection is quite possible the most pervasive connection type in today's world. Diba? Ito yung ginagamit natin sa mga pag-charge natin ng mga cellphone, yung pagko-connect natin ng ating mga keyboard to our desktop or our laptop. So, sa mga speakers, halos ito na yung ginagamit natin ng mga kind or mga USB, especially the standard USB. Nearly every form of computer, peripheral device, keyboard, mic, headset, flash drives, wireless, adapters, and etc. So, ito yung ginagamit natin as long that can be connected to your computer through a USB port. Okay, next is the IDE or the Integrated Drive Electronics. IDE cables were used to connect storage devices to a motherboard. So if you've ever opened up an old hard drive, then you likely know what an IDE connector looks alike. So it's the white cable that looks like a ribbon with more than 2 plugs. Okay, next is SATA. It is a Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. Newer hard drives will likely use SATA ports over IDE ports. So in fact, SATA was designed to succeed IDE and it has. So compared to IDE, SATA provides higher data transfer speed. So your motherboard needs to be compatible with SATA and nowadays, most of them are. Okay, next is SATA. External Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. A SATA technology is an extension or improvement on the SATA cable. It makes SATA technology available in an external form. In reality, a SATA is not much different from SATA, but it allows connections to devices like external hard drives and optical drives. This is useful because a SATA offers speeds much faster than most FireWire and USB alternatives. Okay, next is Ethernet. Ethernet cables are used to set up local area networks. In most cases, they are used to connect routers to to modems and computers. So if you have, for example, meron kayong internet sa bahay, ito yung ginagamit natin para i-connect natin yung internet natin sa ating modem. Ito rin yung ginagamit natin para i-connect natin yung i-connect natin direkta sa ating mga laptop. So, ito po yung ginagamit nating connector. So, if you ever try to install or fix a home router, you've like dealt with an internet computer cable. Okay, so what is resistor? A resistor is a passive two-terminal electrical component that implements electrical resistance as a circuit element. In electronic circuits, resistors are used to reduce the current flow, adjust signal levels, divide voltage, bias active elements, and terminate transmission lines, among other uses. So, kadalasan nakikita natin yung mga resistor na to sa mga circuit board, lalo na sa mga, yun sa likod ng TV, di ba? Then, sa mga laptop, yan, meron yan. Sa mga amplifier. Okay, so another component is capacitor. A capacitor, the function is to store the electrical energy and give this energy again to the circuit when necessary. In other words, it charge and discharge the electric charge stored in it. So beside this, the functions of a capacitor are as follows. So it blocks the flow of a DC and permits the flow of alternating current. Okay, next is the integrated circuit or IC. An integrated circuit is sometimes called a chip or a microchip. It's a semiconductor wafer on which thousands or millions of tiny resistors, capacitors, and transistors are fabricated. An IC can function as an amplifier, oscillator, timer, counter, computer memory, or microprocessor. Okay, so the next component is diode. The most common function of diode is to allow an electric current to pass in one direction, called the diode's forward direction, while blocking current in the opposite direction or the reverse direction. So thus the diode can be viewed as an electronic version of a check valve. Another component is transistor. It is a semiconductor with a solid and non-moving part to pass a charge. It can amplify and switch electrical power and electronic signals. Transistors are made of semiconductor material with 3 or more terminals used to connect to an external circuit. Okay, so we have also the other types of wires or cable used in electronics. What are those? Okay, let's proceed. Okay, the first one is the shielded twisted pair cable. So it is used in case the signal carrying wire in a conducting shield as a means of reducing the potential for electromagnetic interference. So how effective the shielding is depends on the material used for the shield, its thickness and frequency, the type of electromagnetic noise field. So the distance from the noise source to the shield, initial discontinuity, and the grounding practices. The next cable wire is the unshielded twisted pair cable that does not rely on physical shielding to block interference. So it relies instead on balancing and filtering techniques using media filters or both. So noise is induced equally on two conductors and is cancelled out at the receiver. So with properly designed, manufactured, and installed UTP cable like a Cat6 UTP cable, the network is easier to maintain than one in a STP cable plant. So with its shielding continuity and grounding issues. Okay, next is the phone and data wire. Telephone and data wiring are low voltage wire used for landline telephones and internet hookups. So telephone cable may contain 4 or 8 wires. So category 5 or Cat5 cable, the most common type of household data wiring, contains 8 wires wrapped together in 4 pairs. So it can be used for both phone and data transmission and offers greater capacity and quality than standard phone wire. Okay, the coaxial cable is beginning to grow less common thanks to the use of other forms of data wiring such as HDMI. for television and data transmission. Coaxial cable is a round jacket cable that features an inner conductor surrounded by a tubular insulating layer surrounded by a tubular conducting shield made of braided wire. Okay, next is the THHN or THWN wire. THHN stands for Thermoplastic High Heat Resistance Nylon Coated, and the THWN wire is the same but the W stands for water resistant. The main difference between these two standards is their maximum temperature in wet location. So, the codes for the two most common types of insulated wire used inside the conduit. So, unlike NM cable in which two or more individual insulated conductors are bundled inside a plastic sheeting. So, THHN and THWN wires are single conductors, each with its color-coded insulation.
Okay, so that's all our topic for the Module 1 in Electronics. Okay, see you in Module 2. Bye!